I had never even heard of this one prior to our upcoming movies podcast last week, when I look up the movies and watch the trailers and just kind of get ready to talk about what movies are coming out and what they're about. And this one really, the trailer was really intriguing, because this was a story about a kid that never returned home from school. But when I say kid, he was a high schooler. But his family got concerned because this kid is like clockwork. And so they reached out to the police and everything to report him missing, and of course did all that. But the following day, their son was actually found dead in the high school gym. And then the way that the trailer made it sound was that when they found him, his organs were missing. At least that's what I inferred from the trailer on that. But when actually watching it, the trailer was actually a little bit misleading on that. And I'm not going to give a whole lot away on that because I don't want to ruin it. But if this story had just been about Kendrick Johnson and his disappearance, that it would have likely been upper sevens. It might have even been top 10 list on Movie Deputy for this year. I mean, it was amazing in just the storytelling of that. But they couldn't stick to just that. I mean, okay, come on. I understand that they are POCs or persons of color. Again, like, I'm not at all politically incorrect. I'm completely politically incorrect. I'm not at all politically correct on stuff. But so they had to attribute it to basically Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. They said that they even called the riots in Ferguson as peaceful. So it was just, they had to drag all of this other stuff in. And now, mind you, they did bring up actual historical cases that had just been absolutely horrific things of, I guess, old time justice, things that happened to people like Emmett Till. And if you're not familiar with that story, it's absolutely gruesome. And horrible. This young boy was accused of making advances on a white woman back in the day, and so the families went out and basically tortured him. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on that because it's just grotesque and horrible. And not Emmett Till was not any of those things, but what happened to him was absolutely a travesty of justice. And there have been cases like that in other situations as well. But again, if this story had focused on just the story of Kendrick Johnson and his family, it would have been so much better. But no, it had to kind of bring in all of this other modern political bullcrap. I would typically use another word than that, but since I'm not editing myself, I'm having to be a little bit more careful with my language, because in real life I tend to curse like Monty Python, but I don't want to have to label these shows as explicit, so I really try to watch what I say on that. I do slip in, I wouldn't necessarily slip, but I do work in a few of the lower end ones from time to time on that, but that's kind of how that plays out. But there is a website called findingkendrickjohnson.com if you want more information. I will say in this documentary, if you are squeamish, this one might not be for you, because this one actually shows actual autopsy photos of Kendrick Johnson and photos of the scene of his death and the blood and just kind of everything that goes along with that. And it shows the bloated, just body of him, and after his exhumations, more photos. Like I said, it was a very powerful story, and it was a very thought-provoking type of something that, as it was played out, again, sorry for my long pauses there, I'm just trying to find the right words to say on that. But as this plays out, like I said, they really should have focused just on that, and this would have been exceptional. I mean, and that's not even playing it down at all, but because of the other stuff that they worked in, I did go ahead and give just Finding Kendrick Johnson just a 4 out of 10. Now, 4 does mean watchable but forgettable, and though I will not easily forget this story, I will easily forget that that's the whole thing of the documentary, just because they had to work in so much of the other crap. So unfortunately, that just kind of ruined it.